How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we start a new build, and it's already actually been started. Let me explain. Again, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So glad each and every one of you can make it. This car, I actually used the wheels off of it to do another build, so that's why I have this car. But I wanted to use this one for this build because it's a metal base. It's a premium car. But here's what's going on. Diecast Misfit. This is the December build for the Diecast Misfits. Here it is. Beginning of September, but I'm trying to knock all these out ahead of time so weather doesn't prevent me from doing the builds. So I'm getting an early start. But anyhow, long story short, Ronnie took everybody's name that's inside the country, randomly drew names and everything, and then the ones that are outside the country in Canada and elsewhere, they're just going to exchange gifts there. Because that's the whole point of this. We're going to exchange these cars. So the random picker chose Derek for me to build a car for, and me to build for Derek to build a car for. So if you know anything about Derek, he really likes Porsche. So I'm going to use this premium one. The paint job that I'm going to put on this, I could cheat. I really could. But I'm not going to. All I would have to do is take off that Porsche decal on both sides, right? Take off that Porsche emblem right there, and then add some decals. I really could. And you'll understand when you see what we're doing with this. But I'm not going to tell you just yet. But just think about that color. And you guys that know race cars will know what that color could possibly mean. But this is, like I said, it's already been started. I took this apart for the wheels and everything, but I still need to drill and tap it. Okay, I still need to drill and tap it. And then it needs to go in the stripper. So that's what I'm going to do off camera. No need you watching it or anything. But I really want to cheat because I like the tail lights and everything on it. But race cars, you know, I want this one to be something a little bit more from me. And I don't know. You'll understand when I get there. So let me get this drilled and tapped. Next time you see this, it'll be out of the stripper, ready to check the casting lines and see what needs to be sanded and all that stuff. I already have him a box ready to go, so I can put all this stuff in there. Now, of course, I will probably change out the steering wheel. I don't know for certain, but I probably will. And I'm going to save the glass because it's new. And the base will get painted a different color also, because that's how I do these cars. It's just my way of doing them. I'm going to get this drilled out in a stripper. See you in a bit. It's polish time, or at least sand time. So the plan is to knock all this off and possibly hit it with just like 320 and then move up from there. And then once I get rid of any scratches or anything that I don't think will polish out with the flits, I'll then work on that a little bit more aggressively. But the plan is just to do as little You always want to do as little as you can as far as polishing, because you're removing material. So I just want to polish this up, because the type of paint that I'm going to put on this is almost, well, basically it is Spectraflame. It's going to be a two-tone Spectraflame paint job with decals. But I want to see what we have under this and then go from there. And just that quickly, there's a lot of sanding that's going to need to be done on that right there. A lot of it. So let me do the rest of the car and we'll come back and see what we have. Well, here's what we have. It is not bad. I have seen a lot worse. The biggest problem is going to be that roof, because I can actually feel one or two of those spots with my fingernails. So I'm going to have to do some sanding on that for sure. And the only other two bad spots I really see is the passenger door. And of course the door on the driver's side. Seems like the doors, the roof, and the hood are always the worst, but this hood, just a little bit right in there. But I mean, if you got to do a little bit on something, you might as well do the whole thing. So I'm going to hit the whole hood, the whole roof, and both doors. Now I got a feeling you'll probably get bounced around a lot as I do this, so I'm not going to show the whole process. But as you can see, it's 150 grit. I'm going to start with that. I'm going to do the roof right in there, both doors. Then we'll come back, start hitting everything with 320, and then we'll move up to, I don't know, maybe 2,000-3,000. So here we go. Yeah, I'm going to be shaking you around too much, so I'm going to do it, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So you can see how much shinier the 150 looks better than the non-sanded. There's still a few little spots, I believe you can see right there, that I don't know if I'm going to try to get out or not. I'm going to hit it, well, let me go ahead and just say I'm going to hit it again for a second. But this is how polishing works if you've never done it. You start with a grit that you feel will take care of everything. Then you start building up. In this case, I'm going to go from 150 to 320 to 800 to 1,000, and then I'll start using my disc and going up. I have to skip a couple levels because I don't have all the sandpaper. But what happens is, well, of course, when you sand, it puts scratches in it. The scratches get smaller. There's more of the scratches, and they become a lot smaller to the point of where it looks like you're doing nothing. Then you hit it with the flitz, and it takes it out, and it makes it shine. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work my way up and go from there. And I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking so far. So let's see what flitz will do. I got a feeling I'll probably have to work on that roof line and that hood just a little bit more. But let's just see what happens. Good Lord, that's enough to do 5 cars. Just to see. Because you never know. Sometimes you don't need to go as far as you think you do. Look at what an amazing transformation that is already. Well, unfortunately, here's where it gets a little bit strange. And what I mean by that, and you'll see it in the recap at the end, but I'll go ahead and tell you now at this stage because I don't have it. I went outside to paint the car, had it taped off. What I did was I took the Tamiya, however you want to say it, the little 1/8 inch wide tape. I taped all the way around the bottom of the car because that's where I want the second color. The top half is going to be blue. The bottom half will be orange. I'll go ahead and tell you that now. Or bottom 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I taped off the bottom, sprayed it, and I was busy raking leaves, blowing leaves and everything. So I left the tape on there for a little while. Came back, pulled the tape off, and sure as a whirl, because I left it on rather than taking it off immediately, when I pulled it, it came around to the door and it lifted up the paint on the door and had a nice sizable chunk missing. So I was like, okay, well, maybe the decal will cover that. So then I did the other side. Same thing. No way the decal could cover it. So I said, screw it, threw it back in the stripper, and forgot to, I was so aggravated, I deleted the video from me actually spraying the blue. Spraying it was perfect, came out perfect and everything. But because I was pulling the tape off and everything, I just got so aggravated, I said, heck with it. So there's no footage of me painting this car. Sorry, I apologize for that. But I'm trying to make my videos a little shorter anyway, so with that stated, I am sorry. So let's get on to the next part, which is the decals. Well, it's that time if you see this coming out. And Derek, you're getting my absolute very last decal. I've got to get some more made. So there's that. Derek. I did a little bit of detail work. I put the Porsche logo on the windscreen. I didn't do a lot of detailing on the inside. I did paint the interior orange to make it pop against the paint. I dry washed the defrost vents just because, in a race car those are going to be dirty. I did a little bit of detailing on the inside, and I know you really like those white roll bars in your cars. So I said, well, let's change it up a little bit for him. I did mine black, and I also have the Old Man Diecast logo in there. So when this bad boy goes on, you'll be able to look in there and see me all the time. Here's the base. And I'm kind of aggravated about how this turned out. It looks okay. And it needs another coat of orange on the beads. But if I put another coat of orange on the beads, it'll make them stick out that much more, make them that much bigger, so I'm not going to. But I painted the base orange, did a little bit of detail work on the exhaust, as you can see. And let me tell you, this car has whooped me. I mean, it has absolutely whooped me. Long story short, I stripped it to get the original paint off of it. I sanded it, I filed it, I polished it. I put it's a two-tone paint job, and you'll get to see it here in just a second in the reveal, if you didn't see it just now. And I taped it off, painted it, the top part, pulled the tape off. I let the tape stay on it too long is what I did. So I took the tape off and I pulled the paint off. Stripped it again. Painted it. Did the same thing. Everything went good this time. Clear coated it and everything. Went to put the decals on. And as soon as I took the decals off of the backing paper and laid them on the car, you could see a lot of the decal was just missing. I mean, it was just gone. Poof, magic. So, me being a dummy, rather than, I know this is going to be a long story, but rather than being a smart customizer and just use the micro set and micro saw to loosen the decal up again and take it back off, and then just wipe off the glue with some WD-40, that'd take it right off. I put it back in the stripper. That's how upset I was. But after the third time stripping it, the paint went semi-okay. I got it done. That's the main thing. It's not perfect, but it is given from the heart, and that's what counts. So with that stated, let's rewind this time back into the beginning. This is what we started with. This was one of the supers from this year's Premiered Sep that I wanted the wheels off for another casting, and now I'm back to it. Like I said, we never throw things away. But it's a really nice car. Baby blue, sky blue, whatever you want to call it. And it's a great looking casting. But with that stated, us being customizers, we think we can do better. So here's the end result. I hope you think that I did better. But more importantly, Derek, this is my December Diecast Misfits build. And it's also the Secret Santa gift to you. Because, our names were chosen for each other. So I hope you enjoy it. And here is what she looks like.